Welcome, everyone, to Business Essentials and Conversation. Tonight, we're going to be talking about business essentials to help you stay motivated in your business. Because here's the thing, we all know that it's very hard to stay motivated. Throughout the year, things might they might go along really well. And then at other times, things might, you might run into some roadblocks. So, how do you stay motivated? So I'm going to say a quick hello. How we doing, everyone? And tonight on this Amazon Live episode, like I said, we're going to talk about tips that help you stay motivated. We got some great products we're going to talk about, and obviously some great conversation. But I'm going to go and bring on Letitia Campbell for Business Essentials and Conversation. Letitia, so good seeing you again.
Good seeing you too, Christian.
So let's talk about, like, what does it mean? Like, why should people be motivated in business, or why do they run into issues of staying motivated in business?
Well, I find when it comes to the whole business aspect of motivation is that information overload and also playing that comparison syndrome sometimes. When you are going out there and you're looking at YouTube after YouTube, you're looking at influencer after influencer, and you're sort of sitting back and looking at what you do and don't have. Those are some of the things that can get you not to be motivated. And also sometimes it could be personal things that goes on in your life that affects your motivation. I call motivation momentum. And the more you build that momentum, the more you stay motivated. And the thing is about motivation and momentum is that you can always gain back that momentum if you had moments in your life or in your business where you took a little break.
Fantastic. Yeah. And that's a great point, about like things ebb and they flow, like sometimes things
Yes.
are going really well. And then other times, you run into a rough spot, and it's not to say you can't overcome that rough spot, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing, with business, you have to keep yourself motivated. And then
Right.
as an entrepreneur, for example, or a small to medium business owner, it can be very challenging every single day,
Mm-hmm.
trying to, like, how do you stay motivated? How do you keep yourself going?
Yes.
When you don't have any customers coming in the
Mm-hmm.
door, for example. So
Right. Right.
that can definitely be a bit of a challenge there for you. So, Letitia, I'm gonna let you kick things off. We talked about, like, how we had different, basically, segments to the show.
Right.
So where's the first place people need to start to help them stay motivated when they're running
Getting
something else?
focused, guys. Getting focused is so important. I know, me being a mother of 5 children, there's throughout the day, there's so many ways that my attention can be drawn from one place to the next. So staying focused is something that's a daily exercise. I want to make that point up real quick, Christian. A lot of people think that they master the art of focus. Is not something that you master. It's something that you practice and keep reiterating every single day. So the first item we want to show, we practically show this item every single show,
We
right,
do, don't we?
Christian?
Right?
Because we love this item. And on top of that, I'm going to say this once again. I love the story behind this product, which is the
Yep.
Rocketbook. Now, I know, Christian, you probably know about this already, but Rocketbook has a planner. So this is like different from what we showed in the previous shows. Like, I'm pretty sure we showed this before, but this has an actual option for you to actually use the Rocketbook as a planner, which I think is quite cool.
Definitely, yeah. It's a great product. Yeah, and I'm not seeing the product on your screen at the moment. Um,
Oh,
there it
there you
is.
go.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. So, what is it? What makes this product so great, Letitia?
You can sit back and write down your tasks. You can one of the things that I don't do, and this is just a tip for you guys, I never leave anything to memory. So if I have something that is on my mind, I could be washing the dishes, I could be reading with the kids, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh shoot, I got to remember that show topic for my next show, or I got to remember to do something for my client. I write it down. I write it down, write it down, write it down. Because later on, if I say, well, I remember that later on when I sit down and start doing my business, I'm going to
Yeah.
forget about it. So I love this option because as you guys know, with the Rocketbook, you could take whatever you write in it and actually, put it, like, digitize it in a sense, right? I know Christian has explained several times on how that happens. But I think this is a great opportunity for those of you who are like, listen, you need to do a dumping list. You need to sit down and categorize your tasks, put pen to paper, and actually take action on it.
Definitely, yeah. And so, so this is the Rocketbook. There's a lot of different models on this. This one's about $37. But by the way, I have a Rocketbook here as well. This is not the, like, newest model of it.
Hmm.
But the reason why is because, well, they make different versions and they're
Right.
reusable. That's one thing I really love about this notebook, by the way.
Hmm.
And so for example, when I'm talking about like when we talk about getting focused, for example, the first thing you need to do is you need to write down everything that you can that's in your brain that you want to get down on paper. And so here's the thing:
Right.
it's great to store in your brain, but you want to make sure you empty it. I want to give the
Hmm.
trash can analogy, I guess. If you've
Yep.
got so many different things going on and ideas and thoughts and whatnot, your brain can only hold so much. You need to
That's
empty it
right.
out from time to time, just like you need to empty the trash out.
Hmm.
You need to do that big pile of laundry. But you start here. You write down everything that you have in your mind, get it in your notebook. And
Yes.
what's great about this notebook, by the way, as we mentioned, is that this is this one's regular paper. I think the one you have there, Letitia, is I think that's like a dry erase type. So this one,
Mm.
for example, standard paper. What's really great about this, though, is, and let's see if I can get this zoomed in. So along the bottom, they've got a QR code. And then let's see if there we go, a little bit further. So along the bottom, they have these icons. Let me see if I can get this to pull up because there you go. They're kind of like light gray. And the way they work is you physically write down what your thoughts are. So let's get them out of your head. And then along the bottom, they've got these checkbox options and they hook into an app. So for example, then you take your smartphone
Hmm.
and your smartphone has it's got a built-in app, or it has an app for Rocketbook. And basically, when you check these items, all you do is open the app, you scan the app. So you open the product, you scan this code in the bottom corner here, and then what you do basically then at that point is it digitizes
Hmm.
everything that you've written down. And so the great thing is to help you get focused, you're clearing your mind of all the stuff that's going on. And then
Hmm.
once you've cleared your mind, then you have everything here. You don't have to worry about losing it. It's digitized because then you can email it. You
Right.
can get into like, other digital platforms. You can take photos, things like that. And they're searchable. And then the great thing about it is you can then focus more, in your mind on all the things that you need to get done.
Hmm.
So super, super, super important. That's the first, I think, step to like getting focused is like, you know what, let's clear out the cobwebs. Let's start with a clean slate, right?
Right, that's very true. Start and start looking at everything fully in its full, because that's the thing we do sometimes. We like to sit back, we leave stuff through memory, or we may assume that, oh yeah, I know I need to do this. I know I need
Mhm.
to get this done. And then you're going to start to notice that the same task you had back in April, the same task you're having here now in July. So I love that option of having the Rocket be more of a planner form, so you could just categorize and organize your tasks.
Definitely. Yeah. 100% agree with that. So what, what else should people be doing like to help them get focused, Letitia?
Well, last week we did discuss affirmations, and affirmations are big, but like a lot of times having something in front of you every single day for you to look at, that's going to inspire you, that's going to, more importantly, get you more motivated and focused. And also remembering what is your overall goal for today. And that is to just be amazing in everything you do. You want to do your best, and whatever it is your best, you want to be amazing at it. I always try to say, I may not be the top of the line, coach out there, but I am the best. I am amazing at what I do. So those things matter, and putting this on a mirror, especially if you have children, to take a look at this as well. It's just, in my opinion, Christian, it's just so motivating. It really is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And
Mhm.
so, I like I like these affirmations that you have here, this wall art decal. I think that goes
Mhm.
like that's on a mirror, for example.
Mhm.
Again, I mean, it's about waking up, being positive every single day as well. So like,
Right.
you know, surrounding yourself with positivity is important.
Yes, it
But
is.
at the same time, you got to make sure, that you're putting that stuff into practice as well.
That's
So
right.
love these wall art decal stickers here that you highlighted. What else should I do, Letitia, to help
Mhm.
myself get focused on things?
Definitely reading. Your brain is a sponge. I think we have to, remember back when we were children, and remember that our brains are a sponge, and what we do with our brains is so important. If you're putting a lot of negativity in there, if you're reading a lot of negative news and all these different things, it's going to get you to a point where you're not going to be excited about life, and you're not going to be excited about the things you have to do throughout the day. So one of the books we want to bring up here, and yeah, this is I've read a couple of couple of books by this particular author here, and I found this one. I haven't read this one yet, but this is definitely going to be the next book I order, which is
Yeah.
Miracle Morning Millionaires. So why is this important for me? The reason why it's important for me is that if you have a goal in mind, if your goal is to make 7 figures, 6 figures, however much, you want to read books that's based on that. You want to get in an environment, mentally, to where you're reading this information and you start plugging new topics, new ideas, new concepts into your brain. So that's why it's so important to spend that doesn't provide you millionaire knowledge. You got to go out there and seek it, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah. And
Yeah.
I like the fact that you give the example of like being a sponge,
Yeah.
and soaking up as much knowledge. Here's the thing: you have to think of it like this. You can only hold so much. So
Right.
consume content to get you to think about things. For example, if you're always,
Yes.
for example, focused on one particular thing, you're not able to actually think about things broadly. And
Mm-hmm.
so, for something like that, think about for example, if you want to become a millionaire, for example, it's
Mm-hmm.
not just about thinking it. You also have to take action on it. You have to do it.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
true.
getting you in the right mindset. So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be super important there.
And
And
mindset is everything. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. No, 100% agree with you. Mindset
Mm-hmm.
is like super important, and here's the thing, like we said, I think the key thing is you've got to take action on what you're, to help yourself stay motivated. So,
Yeah.
for example, like if you're down on yourself and you're not consuming anything else,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to stay motivated like that?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so if I'm thinking negatively about things or I'm just in a bad place, at the moment, I need to start to like change that. And so part of that is consuming content that is going to get you to think differently, for example, than you're currently thinking.
Right.
If your business, for example, isn't going the right way, don't go pick up a book that talks about like what to do when your business is, uh, going down the hill, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a kind of a bad example, I guess, but you want to focus on like, well, hey, how to supercharge your business? Like that sounds
Right.
even better, right? So you got
Mm-hmm.
to
Yes,
think
it
about that
does.
kind of stuff. Um,
Exactly. And you can never say that, in this era that we're living in, we can't say that, oh, we don't know how, or, most of us was not born, with a failing lots of success when it comes to being entrepreneurship. So you got to read more books. You have to read even more books so that way you can stay motivated, and that way you can just put things into action. How do you know how to become a millionaire if you don't know how millionaire people take action? I think that's also important.
yeah,
Hmm.
taking action and then like what they're doing, for example, things like that as well. Like what kind
Hmm.
of habits are they forming,
What
all that kind of
failures they've
stuff.
had. Hmm.
So Letitia, let's also, before we bring up this next item, let's bring up that wall art decal, by the way.
Oh yes, this one is quite interesting. Let me
It
pull
is,
this one
yes,
up.
right?
Um, you know, one of the things that I firmly believe is that, 2021 is about the year of just being bold, right?
Yeah.
It's the year of being bold. It's a year of getting out there and just doing some extreme things. And when I found this particular item, let me just pull it up. I think I skipped it. I'm so sorry, Christian.
Oh,
Let
you're
me
fine.
see. I'm gonna grab it. It is, I think it's this one here. Yes, here we go. Yes, here we go. Here we go. As I mentioned before, this year is the year of just being bold. It's really like taking things to the extreme, and really like I really like this quote here. I just want to pull it up so that way you guys can see it. I think this is definitely the tone of my particular day here. And it's like, as when you're building a business, you always on a sense of panic, right? Because our brains never stop as entrepreneurs. It never ever
Mhm.
stops. It's going even while we're sleeping, right? And a lot
Yeah.
of times we get into certain spaces and environments. I remember when I first got a chance to speak on stage, and I felt that I wasn't worthy. Like, who am I? I'm this girl from, Westbury, Long Island, right? And I have to always remember who I am, who the person that I created, which is me. So going back to saying like breathe and remember who the F you are, I feel is just so important, right, Christian?
Definitely, yeah. And again, I mean, this this is also sort of giving yourself a bit of an edge as well. Like, so if you're
Right.
somebody that like, if you're in that situation of like, hey, you know what, my business, like if you want to be like, what's the word I'm looking for, Letitia? Like, you want to be strong in your business. And so like if
Right.
things aren't going well, for example, you need something that kind of breaks that ice, whether it's to make you
Mhm.
smile, maybe it's to make you like laugh, to like actually say, hey, you know what? I'm actually really good at what I do. I just have to maybe change
Right.
the perspective or things like that. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well, I know for me, when I first started building my business,
yeah.
people like, well, Tisha, you're changing. I always, that used to get on my nerves, Christian. People used to say, Tisha, you're changing. No, the person you used to know me before, that person was the person that characteristics and qualities and things that I picked up growing up. Like as we're growing up into adulthood, a lot of things emotions that we feel is what we learned from our parents, from our
Mhm.
family members, from our environment, our neighborhood environment. And then as we step into entrepreneurship, we have the freedom to become whoever and whatever we want to become. So now going back to remembering who you are, remembering who I am, remember the woman that I created, I think it's something that even now I'm getting chills. It's something that I work my hardest every day to remember the person that I created, not the
Mhm.
Letitia 10 years ago, right? 15 years ago, because that Letitia wasn't who I am today. That was what was embedded in me for childhood and high school years and things like that. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So, okay, so there's lots of other things you can use to help you get focused. Just a quick summary, real quick. We talked about the Rocket Book. We talked about the
Hmm.
vinyl wall art decal that says "Go yourself." We talked about wall again, motivational items. So, being amazing, like a waterproof, removable decal, and we talked about the Miracle Morning book. However, other things also, just real quick, that you can use to help you stay motivated in business in this first section, which is all about getting focused. Also, again, a daily planner. We talked about that Rocket Book. There's other ones as well in the carousel. And then we also talked about something as simple as having a desktop plant, having a desk plant,
Hmm.
something to help you to kind of ground you.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
for example, if you're in an office and you got a lot of stuff, for example, like you can
Hmm.
see in my background right now, for example, I happen to have a plant over here.
Hmm. Quite cute.
So, for example, I've got a plant in my background,
Hmm.
and so this is something where, like, this again, I mean, it's sort of getting in touch with nature.
Hmm.
This is a succulent, so it's something I don't have to actually do much with.
I know I'm the
Um,
same way. I
you
don't
know,
want to water
low,
it every day.
but guess what? By adding this makes my background look a lot more,
Right. Right.
pretty, more calming. I'm not saying, oh, you need a ton of plants, for example,
Hmm.
but having plants, for example, things like that can really help ground you a bit, you know. And so that way, like if you like, maybe you need to get outside at times, things like that. But
Yes.
again, get yourself focused. So get all this stuff in your
Hmm.
mind, get it on paper. Keep things, surround yourself with positivity. But remember, like we just said, you got to take action. So that's the first
Right.
thing, is getting
Right.
focused. Okay,
Right.
Letitia. So what's the second phase of helping businesses help you stay motivated in business?
Well, our next phase is meditation. And I always say those moments where you are by yourself, where you could be in that deep thought, I think is so important, especially if you're trying to build an empire.
Yeah.
And so we have some amazing items to really help you with your meditation. The first item I think is quite cool. It actually tracks every activity that you do throughout the day, which is called the Amazon Halo Band. Now, I actually came across this item here, and I found it to be quite amazing, to the point to where it tracks your sleep, it tracks your steps, it tracks your movement, and all those things. I really, really like it, and it has so many integration with it, with Weight Watchers, was it Pinvit, Fit, Sweat, Headspace, and several other. And I like the color. I like the fact that you could put it on so easily. A lot of times when you're getting these wristbands and what have
Yeah.
you, it could be quite uncomfortable, especially as you sweat. It can become a little bit irritating. But I also like how it does track your rest. And I think that when I don't want to name no names, but I know you and I, Christian, have talked about several of like the influencers out there who says, well, you got to work, you got to work your business 20 hours a day and sleep 3 hours a day. And remember, you're a human. I always tell my clients this when they ask me this question of, resting, and should I be up till 2 a.m. working my business and things like that. And I always tell them, like, listen, you are a human being. Your body needs rest. Your body needs hydration. Your body needs food. Don't suffer to be successful. I mean, you will suffer as far as like sacrificing time, sacrificing certain things, but don't confuse sacrifice with suffering. That's the point I'm trying to make. If you get what I'm saying, Christian.
Yeah, no. And, and I like the point you make there. I mean, so like I mentioned in the comments, it's about getting your mind right.
Right.
So, it's things like, for example, if you're tired in your business, maybe you have to think of it like this. You can take a vacation.
Yeah.
You can
Yes,
take time off. You can reduce your
Mhm.
schedule. For example, just remember, just think of it like this. If you stepped away from your business, would it fall apart
Mhm.
for a week or even a couple of
Mhm.
days?
Mhm.
If you're like struggling that much, then something in the business needs to change.
Exactly. You're right, Christian. And you have to be your 100%. So if you're taking that time off so that when you come back, you're your 100%, that's what your customers and clients expect of you. You being at your 100%, which I think is so important. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, and something like this, for example, the Amazon Halo band, for example, if you're somebody if you don't feel very good, for example, or you're tired
Hmm.
or, you're not thinking clearly,
Oh, yes.
you should try these products
Yeah.
and use them to help measure what it is that's going on. For example,
Right.
if you're like, hey, you know what, my, I'm feeling tired, for example, or I've got a headache or things like that. Like, look at what you're eating, for
Look at
example. Look
what
at how
you,
much
yep.
exercise you're getting, for
Hmm.
example. Look at how much sleep you're getting, because all of these
Hmm.
elements play a key role in what you're going to bring to your business. So, for example, if I'm
Right.
tired and I'm doing my business, and I'm trying to work my business, and I'm trying to stay motivated, and sales aren't coming in, for
Hmm.
example, then you have to be willing to step back and give yourself the time to recharge, as Letitia mentioned.
Exactly. Yes. There's nothing wrong with that. And I only say there's nothing wrong with it because I know those of you who are watching are probably in a circle where they're telling you, oh, it's bad to rest. I take naps every day. Every day I take a nap at least for 2 hours. Sometimes I go a little extra to 3. You know what I'm saying? But when I wake up, I'm refreshed. I'm ready to go. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's nothing wrong making those little moments of, rest, because you're human. You're human.
Exactly. You have to take time to rest. You have to listen to your body. And so,
Hmm.
again, for example, if you're living a crazy life, for example, where, it's like 24/7, go, 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 go,
Yeah.
you need to find time to meditate.
Yes, you
And,
do.
so for example, you need to use a Halo band to
Hmm.
help yourself help you understand what's going on.
Right,
So,
right.
for example, if you're like, hey, you know what? Why did I wake up tired? Well, let's look
Hmm.
at the diet. Let's look at how much exercise you're getting. You know, um, let's look at how much sleep you're getting. Are you getting positive sleep? Are you getting negative sleep?
Yeah.
Because you can
What are
get
you
negative
watching
sleep.
before you go to bed? That's important. Yeah.
Exactly. And so
Hmm.
you got to listen to yourself and don't be afraid to step out on some things, and just let some stuff fall, and
That's right.
get yourself set again.
Back in
Okay.
the game.
So that's that one, right, Letitia?
Hmm.
So what else is important for meditation? So
Now, I
how
like
can
this particular item that we're going to show right now. And, one of the things I would have spoken about for a long time is having an area in your house where where's that area where the minute you sit down there, you're not touching your phone. Okay. So phone has to go on silent. Okay. You're
okay?
telling your kids, your husband, whoever, that you just need, even if it's 10 minutes just to yourself, for you to just breathe, for you to just relax, and for you not to do anything. Now, if it's hard for you, I encourage you to get this item, because what this is a meditation cushion, right? So it forces you to do exactly what I just explained. Turn off that phone, have some quiet time. You can even read if you want. Some people suggest don't read, just sit there, and it forces your brain to say, okay, now we're going to stop our brain for a second. We're going to become was supercharged. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Do some meditation, and this is really comfortable, especially for those of you who are into the yoga and things like that. But if you're not, that's fine. You can just sit on it and just relax. Hmm.
Excellent. Yeah. And I like the point there, again, it's about creating that space.
Hmm.
So that space could be something as simple as it's a specific chair.
Right.
So, for example, in business, like every single morning, it's taking all your thoughts, putting them down in your Rocket Book, for example, and then maybe you don't have to spend a ton of time. By the way, it could just be one area you go and
Yeah.
sit for 5 minutes,
It could be a
and you sit
corner.
for 5 minutes, and you don't
Mhm.
you aren't on your phone, for example. Your
Mhm.
brain's not like racing, for example. It's getting yourself
Mhm.
like becoming one with your thoughts, for example. You know,
Right. Right.
and like don't be afraid to like listen to like yourself and say, if you're like meditating, for example, it's just quiet breathing, just being calm. It doesn't have to be for 5 minutes, it could be for 1 minute, 3 minutes. I
Mhm.
mean, just take the time to just be disconnected, and
Right.
then
Right.
that can help center yourself for the day.
Right. And
So
people can ask like, well, what's the best time? It's like you have to know your body. You have to listen to your body. And there's certain times during the day where you feel like you're at your most like your anxiety is like your pressure's like building. So for me, it is around 12, 1 o'clock. Because before that, I'm getting the kids up. I'm giving 5 kids. I got to bathe all of them. I got to get their clothes on. I got to do all
uh-huh.
that stuff. So I'm running around a lot in the morning. So I try my hardest not to touch my phone during those times, but I know it's hard, but I still have to connect with people. So around 12, 1 o'clock, I literally go sit on my bed, lay down, you know, turn my timer on, and I sit there most of the time. So that's something that you guys can do to just slow things down. Slow it down. Because we always feel, Christian, like we don't have enough time. Right? Like I'm losing time sitting here. I'm not doing anything. I'm losing time. And that's how I used to think when I used to work. And so I try to like get my brain to think, Letitia, you're an entrepreneur, you're your own boss.
Yeah.
Cynthia is not going to come busting down your door and saying, why do you turn in your timesheets? You know what I mean? So it's like, calm down, girl. Calm down. It's going to be all right.
Excellent point. Yeah, no, excellent points there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So how else do I need to stay motivated in my business?
Well, definitely, like we going back to that rest thing that's so important. I can't
Mhm.
reiterate that enough. Rest is important, especially what we came out of last year, guys. I think definitely having those times and moments where we are taking these breaks, where we are having a full night's sleep. Okay. We're not
Yeah.
trying to wake up tired. You just fell asleep and you're waking up tired, like something's wrong there.
Mhm.
So these sleep headphones, guys. Now, how many of you like to listen to different sounds while you're going to sleep? Let us know in the chat. I said this on previous shows, I love the sound of thunderstorms and rain and stuff. But having something like this, I think is amazing because again, I believe it's a wireless connection, right? It's
Yeah.
a 3D eye mask. So for those of you who have those bags under your eyes, this will help to eliminate it. And it's adjustable strap, so it fits any size. I know sometimes that could be difficulty for most people who are looking for items like this. It fits their head size and tightens up real good because a lot of us move around a lot while we're going to bed, including myself.
Mhm. No, excellent point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much are these, by the way?
These are, let me see what the price
I think they're about
is.
$20, right?
Yeah, these are really inexpensive, to be quite honest. It's on sale, 10% off.
Nice. So they're about
Awesome.
$18 to $20. There's also another
Mm-hmm.
pair we've gotten here. This one has 17,000 reviews. They're also about $20. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's also a pair in here for $350.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's it's a brain sensory product. So
Okay.
again, I mean, it's about giving yourself that mental break. Like a lot of times, like you have to you need to create that environment, that
Mm-hmm.
comforting environment versus oh, I'm going to always be in the same environment every single day. For example, if
Mm-hmm.
you're in a cluttered space and you don't you feel stressed, things like that, clutter can cause that.
Yes,
So
it
it's
can.
again, it's giving yourself the ability to go and relax and rest
Right.
and recuperate so that in business you can attack that next day
That's right.
with as much energy as you have.
That's right. That's right. Yes. So right after you wake up the next morning,
Yeah.
from using these headphones here, and you wake up and you want to start to do something to your skin so you can get back and refreshed
Mhm.
and hydrated. This particular product I really like. I actually have to re-up on it because I'm running quite low. But one of the things I want to also mention, this particular item that Christian's going to bring up, I don't want you guys to get it confused with like a setting spray. A lot of people misuse this item where they put their makeup on and they spray it over it as a setting spray. It's not meant for that. It's
Okay.
meant for to put on prior to adding on your makeup. If for those of you fellas out there, your setting powder and things like that, you want to put this on beforehand. It is hydrates your skin. Let's say if you cleanse your skin in the morning, you put your moisturizer on. Then you want to add this particular product, and it just refreshes your face. It adds more hydration to your skin, so you're going to see less, pimples, less, toughness to your face, and also getting this for the summer is nothing wrong with using this multiple times in one day because the sun dries out our skin so bad. You don't understand. And it's fragrance free. I always say if you're going to use something to hydrate your skin, make sure it doesn't have any fragrance to it because that's extra chemicals you're adding to your skin.
Excellent points. Yeah. And so, okay. So remind me again, this is not a setting spray, right?
It's not a setting spray at all. Okay. I mean, if you put it over your makeup, it really won't do nothing. It was just sit on your face, but you don't want to add more application to your face. So you want to put this on prior to you putting on makeup to hydrate your face. Yeah.
Good call. Yeah. And I like the point that you bring up, about hydration. Again, you got to drink water, but at the same time, like, for example, if you're going to go to sleep, some stuff that you should definitely make sure you do as well, like use this kind of setting spray, use a moisturizer, any of that kind of, health and beauty product. Because you have to remember, like when you're sleeping, like you're basically drying out. So you want to make sure, if you're not waking up like full of energy, chances are you're probably, you may wake up and you're like dehydrated, you're thirsty, and you're like, well, why is that? It's probably because of either the food you ate or the fact that you didn't drink enough water for the day, or, you just like, you didn't put the right product on your face to help your skin stay, moisturized, for example, and energized, even while you're sleeping. So.
That's true. And most entrepreneurs, do work out, and that's what we forget. Like we fill our body up with water, which is great, but we forget about, our skin, making sure we're hydrating our skin. I've used it on my shoulders as well. I use it on my chest as well. So really it's meant for your face, but really you could just spray it anywhere really that's exposed. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So those are, I'm going to just do a quick recap. Those are just some of the meditation items we wanted to highlight for you. I just want to talk about just a couple of these real quick. So for example, we talked about the Amazon Halo Band. We talked about the meditation cushion, the sleep headphones. We also talked about the hydration mist. We've also talked about, let me see what else we have here, Letitia. We got the hydration mist. We've talked about, there's a shiatsu foot massager. For example, your feet are a very high stress area. So for example, by, getting a kneading rolling foot massager, for example, you can sit in your office, you can, get yourself in the right mindset, for example, by reducing that stress that's on your feet. So we talked about a lot of those items. And much more. So I think Letitia is actually going to come back. I think she actually may have closed the window there. But I think these are like super important products, super important things to talk about. The next area we're going to talk about, by the way, is we're going to talk about is getting active. But let me go and bring Letitia back on. Letitia, I know you probably just closed the window accidentally.
Yes, I did. How did you know that?
No worries. It's all good.
I'm like clicking away. Sorry about that.
So what I was telling everyone was that we talk about getting focused. We talk about meditation. Now we want to talk about getting active. So, kind of taking these in different phases. So you got to get focused, meaning you got to everything out of your brain, get it on paper. For example, you got to set yourself up like with positivity. And then after that, in business, you got to start to meditate. You got to like center yourself. You got to like, make sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you're getting enough exercise, things like that. So now, so how do we get active and get us, give us more endorphins in our business? And there's a lot of stuff, like a whole lot of stuff here we want to cover. So Letitia, what's the first thing we want to talk about? Like how about getting active in business?
Well, definitely, the big trend that has been happening for years is having that, smartwatch on your hand to the point where it could track your blood pressure, you know what I'm saying? And last year I had a lot of high blood pressure. So having something like this on my arm, I could track it. It's tracking your steps, You know what I'm saying? Some of us don't know how many calories we need to burn if we don't know how many steps we need to take every single day. Plus, it motivates you to get more active when you're tracking your activity. So this particular item, you guys have probably heard about this brand before. It's called the Fitbit Versa 2 Health and Fitness Smartwatch with heart rate music, Alexa built in, sleep and swim tracking. Oh my gosh, that's dope.
Exactly, right. And but I like the point that you make. It's about like if you want to get, for example, if you want to get fit or get at least, sorry, let's start with getting active, not necessarily getting fit.
Right.
So you got to get active, and the best way you're going to do that is to know exactly why, like what things are working, what things are not working. So, for example, I need to know how many steps did I actually take. Like, I can't just say, well, hey, I'm going to exercise today, for example. Like, these watches have sensors on them, meters, and they
Right.
measure things. So they measure your heart rate, for example. They measure how much exercise you get, and exercise isn't just like, oh, I'm going to go for a walk. You need to get your heart above a certain limit, for example.
Right. Very
So
true.
how are you going to know that? Well, I can sit there and I can take my pulse, things like that. However, that's where like having a smartwatch like this, it's not just for telling you like, okay, here's a new notification, or here's a new phone call, or here's
Mm-hmm.
100 things I missed.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to help you along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So like they help you like understand like what all is going on, and for example, where you need to adjust. So for example,
Right.
we mentioned this earlier. If you feel like you are tired, or you feel like, what, hey, you're like, why did I gain 5 pounds, for example? It's not just your diet, but it's also your exercise. You got to burn some of those calories too. You can't just be
That's
consuming
right.
those calories. And so how are you going to know what that is? Well, okay, did I exercise or did I not? But then if you're getting the right exercise or you're not getting the
Mm-hmm.
right exercise.
Right. And
So
I like the fact that this tracks you throughout your whole week. So really you
yeah,
get an opportunity to see what days you're the most active, what times of day that you're most active, so you can maximize on that. Mm-hmm.
excellent point there. Yeah, and this is the Fitbit Versa 2 health and fitness smartwatch. This one's
Mm-hmm.
about $179.
Mm-hmm.
Very good product, by the way. It does come in other colors, so it's not just in pink.
Yeah.
So it does come in other colors.
But the
Now,
pink is cute.
for those of you who want something, a little more premium, there is the Apple Watch Series 6, for
Mm-hmm.
example. And this is Apple's version of the smartwatch.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this comes in multiple colors, different color bands, different styles. This one's $329. It's got about 39,000 reviews, a lot of reviews on this product. It's actually at 18% off, by the way, too, which is a good deal.
That's not
Most
bad.
Apple stuff doesn't ever really go on sale.
Never.
So this is the Series 6. This is the bigger model, by the way. This is the 40 millimeter. They make I think there's a 28, maybe, I think.
Oh, cool.
So they make other size watch faces. Again, this is not just for tracking your health. As you can see there, it tracks your health. They also have it gamified, and it also can work with their Fitness Plus program as well.
I love
Which is
this.
nice. And that means that, like, for example, you can be wearing this watch and it can do a couple things. So for starters, you can load up music onto it.
Mm-hmm.
And the great thing about that is then I can be working out, and the music is on the watch, is not on the smartphone.
Mm.
In addition to that, it has, as you can see there, it's got the Fitness Plus product as well. So we get an Apple
Quite cool.
Watch. You can get 3 months free when you buy the Apple Watch. What's great about that is the Fitness Plus is a program that can go on the iPad, for example, or things like that, or the Apple TV, and you have a workout buddy essentially. And then in addition to that, it also has, as we mentioned, a lot of those. If you have AirPods, for example, it'll tie into your AirPods. So, for example, you literally could just take this and some headphones, some wireless headphones to the gym and be good. Or not to the gym. You can use some of the challenges. For example, they've got ring meters of sitting and standing, for example. How active are you?
Mm-hmm.
How many calories did you burn? It can also track like blood oxygen and things like that as well.
That's quite cool.
So, no worries. No worries at all. But yeah, so that's the Apple Watch Series 6. And as I mentioned, it comes in a couple of different models. So we'll bring Letitia back here in a second, by the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going actually while she's she had to go, I think, take care of her kids for a second. So I'm going to go and bring up another product here that Letitia and I had talked about. And this is, here's the thing. Like when you think about working out, a lot of people think, they think, oh, I got to get big weights, for example, right? And you don't actually need to get big weights or heavy weights, for example. It is nice to have like weights to help you, but one of the new trends that people are doing when they are working out is this: they're using these. These are resistance bands, and basically, I mean, as you can see here, I mean, so for example, this person is putting these bands on their legs, and they're using this as their way to lift weight. So basically, build up the resistance to strengthen their legs, for example, or their leg muscles. So, for example, this could be something that, again, it becomes part of your routine. So every single day, if you're somebody who, you're trying to stay motivated in your business, for example, you get a lot of frustration, why not actually take it out on doing a little workout? So, for example, you could check out the resistance bands that are here. There's also, let me see there's the resistance bands. There's, for example, there's some additional resistance bands. These are ones that, these are $16, by the way. And, the great thing about these is that, like they're going to help you. Like, as you can see, the bands have different weight classes as well, like for like what they're basically doing. So for example, you've got the extra heavy ones, you've got the heavy ones, you've got the medium ones, you've got the light, you've got the extra light, for example. So these are resistance bands that are going to help you build up muscle mass, for example, or, help get you in better shape, for example, if you're not in good shape. So again, keeping yourself in shape is going to help you stay motivated in your business. And that's a good place to start. It's going to release endorphins. It's going to help you feel much better, even if things aren't going how you want them to go. So those are the MHIL 5 resistance bands. Again, they're for women, they're for men, and you don't have to do the whole like physical weightlifting of what people used to do in the past. Instead, you can use something like muscle and reduce. In addition to that, by the way, another product I want to bring up here, by the way, and this is again, it's how do you get active. So, for example, if you're somebody who sits at a desk every single day, it's not good to sit at a desk every single day. So, what you want to do is you want to constantly be trying to keep yourself active. So if you're sitting at a desk, you need to at least get up a minimum at least once per hour, take a 5-minute break, 10-minute break at the most, and then get yourself back into business, and get focused. And like I mentioned, working out is a great way to help you get motivated, and so for something like this is actually a pretty neat little product. And this is actually um, the desk cycle under desk bike pedal, by the way.
Mhm.
And it's literally a pedal that goes, for example, you could do this sitting in your sofa while you're reading a book, for example. So it's keeping your legs active, for example. This also, though, can go underneath your desk. They have tension control. So, you could get more or less tension depending on what you're looking to go for. For example, if you want to just do a quick little warm up, you can use the 1 to 2 options, but you can move all the way up to 7 and 8, which is muscular toning. So, but this is the desk cycle under desk mini exercise peddler. What do you think about this, Letitia?
I love this item a lot. This is it's so weird. I didn't think they have something like this on the market, and it's probably been around for a long time, but it's really good, especially if you're I know you mentioned this already. If you're in a spot for a long time, a lot of times we sit at our desk for over 4 hours just typing away and forget to get up and move around. So even having a timer, on your smartwatch and say, okay, do 10 minutes, just pedaling, and just increasing the intensity. When I had a trainer that he used to always say, increase that intensity, start off at 1 and then just increase it. And you'll be surprised how toned your legs are going to look, how much calories that you're losing. And these do in fact count as steps. So I really like this item a lot.
And I got to say this, you also might feel better doing this as well, by the way.
Right,
so you're burning
right.
calories. You got to remember, the more you're burning, the better you're going to feel.
Yes.
So, it may, at first it may be tough. It's just like in business. Like if things aren't going how you want them in business, like you gotta, you gotta just take that first step. Just
Exactly.
keep going and going and going. Same thing for this. If you're somebody who's been sitting around for a while, start with something like this. This way you can at least be active while you're actually working, as opposed to, just sitting there at a desk, for example, being sedentary. Another
That's
thing, by the
right.
way, I want to highlight this. There is an extra coupon on this product. It's $189. It's $20
Cool.
off. So it's about $170 if you're somebody who wants this kind of cycle product. There's also, though, by the way, in addition to the desk cycle, there's also another product that we did drop in the carousel, and this is
Right.
pretty cool. It's a desk treadmill, and it
That's
literally goes
cool.
underneath your desk, and it's like a walking treadmill. So you can basically get on a treadmill and get yourself going, and get yourself active. Again, activation. It's all about taking action.
That's right.
So, you can read all the books you want, you can get yourself in the right mindset, but you got to take some action. So, for example,
Hmm.
you're not just going to lose weight, and you're
Hmm.
not just going to feel more energized by, oh, great, I have the item. Now I have to actually put it into action. How hard is it to put it
That's
into
right.
action? Put it on your desk.
That's
How do
right.
you, then all you got to do is start pedaling.
That's
Very
it.
easy. Start doing it, try it out, and see how it works.
And you adding those bands onto your thighs as well, like you take those thick bands we were just showing, scoot
Yeah.
them up like on your hips, because it forces you to like expand your thighs, and then now you're toning the inside and the outside. So it's several ways you can get a pretty good workout without leaving your house.
Definitely. Yeah. So, what we want to do now, in interest of time,
Yeah.
we want to move to like the last section, and again, there's so much stuff here. I just can't recommend this enough. I mean, go check out the carousel. There's a lot of stuff we've been putting in there.
Lots.
We talked about like the desk treadmill, the desk cycle, for example. All this stuff is going to help you get motivated. For example, you don't need 5 treadmills or 3 of them. Just get something that's going to get you active
Hmm.
and moving. Because again, moving is going to help you take more action.
That's right.
So, what we want to do is we want to talk about some tech.
Yeah.
We want to talk about essential tech. We love tech, obviously. I mean, everybody who doesn't love tech. We
Yes.
found some really fantastic items. These are items that, so for example, how would you classify these, Letitia?
Well, these are called essential tech. Okay.
Okay.
This is items that can be used on the go. And these are items that I promise you're going to be using every single day. And this is why we call it essential.
So, part of the thing that we talked about at the beginning, Letitia, was
Hmm.
we talked about how it's about getting like what's in your mind, get it onto paper. For example, getting your mind right, getting yourself, energized through exercise,
Hmm.
physical activity. So we also, though, want to make sure that you're not going to stress about the tech that you have, because some people do find tech to be challenging.
Yes, very true.
And so what we want to do is we want to highlight a few of these items, things to really easy items that you can get a lot of value out of in your business to help you do some different things. So the
Hmm.
first thing we want to talk about is this item, and this is the Apple AirTag. And so if you're an iOS user or a Mac user or an iPad user, you'll want to check out the AirTags. And
Hmm.
basically what this is it's literally a tracking device for your stuff. So if you're somebody who loses your smartphone or your tablet or your backpack, or even if it's something for your kids, for example, the AirTags, you simply attach them to the item,
Hmm.
and then you're able to track them within literally, I think, a few inches here,
Right.
using the Apple iOS products. So, for example, the
Right.
iPhones, the iPads, things like that, or in the reverse, the phone itself, and things like that as well.
Hmm.
This little device, it's super small. It's about a little bit bigger than a quarter, by the way.
Hmm.
It also it puts out a sound as well, so it emits a sound if you're using it.
Hmm.
Like I said, it's great for people who are in the iOS family of products.
Hmm.
And so there are a couple different ones. This one's $100. By the way, Jojo, thanks a lot for following us. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Jojo.
that. For those of you tuning in, by the way, if you haven't done so yet, we have, be sure you click that follow button on our video here. We really love it if you did that. Again, so you don't miss an episode of Business Essentials and Conversation. So this is, like I said, this is a product for people who are iOS users and you're in the Mac family. Now, for those of you who get this product, by the way, I would also recommend picking up the AirTag leather keyring, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because, well, you need to attach these AirTags to something, and they aren't just going to like stick onto something. You physically attach to something. You put it in luggage, a
Mm-hmm.
bag, things like that, and then you can use your phone and things like that to track it. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a 4-pack, by the way. There are 4 for $100. They make a single one, and I think that one's $30 a piece.
Not
So
bad.
if you're thinking about like you need more than one, buy the
Mm-hmm.
4-pack.
Yeah,
So
why
buy the
not?
4-pack, buy the key ring that they sell.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few of those, but we highlighted just some of our favorites in the carousel.
Awesome.
Very cool. So that's the Apple AirTag. So now I just want to quickly jump over, Letitia. Let's jump over to the let's jump to the tile let's jump to the tile version real quick. So
Sure.
if you're somebody who is using Android or PC, for example, and you want something similar to the AirTag, I'd recommend checking out the tile sticker. And so the tile sticker is, again, it's going to help. This is stuff to help you not have to worry about like, well, where did I place this item, right?
Right.
So here's a tile sticker. These are how much are these? These are about $60, by the way. This is going to get you a 4-pack, so they're a little bit less than the
Oh
max.
my gosh. Yes. Put it
Yeah.
on the remote. Because we lose the
Yeah,
remote all the time. All the
Exactly.
time we
$12.
lose the remote.
So it's $12, so you don't have to worry about going to buy a remote. You can then
Wow.
use like the app to track this sort of thing. They seem to use a lot of the ones for the remotes, but that makes a lot of sense. So this is the every single picture is remote.
I got
Right?
the same remote, the small one here for this TV behind me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I love
this
it.
is the version of for Android or PC basically. If
Uh-huh.
you happen to like lose a lot of stuff, check out the tile sticker at just $60 for
Not bad.
4 of them. I think that works out to about $12 a piece. Let me see if my math is right. Yeah, actually about $15. Sorry, $15 a piece.
Not
So
bad.
again, these are different from the AirTag ones because they're Android, they're PC. They also have a sticker, so you peel off the back and stick it to something, as opposed to the
Mhm.
AirTag, which attaches to something via like a key ring, things like that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so what are some other essential tech items to make my life easier, Letitia?
Well, I have to say, the Logitech, getting yourself like a really, really good, webcam that's not super duper inexpensive. And I actually am using the Logitech, the one that we're about to show now, HD Pro webcam 1080p. That's the webcam I'm currently using right now. And I think I'm not even streaming at 1080p. I think I'm streaming at 720p. So that goes to show you even how clear it is. But yeah, this is a really, really good webcam.
Definitely. And so again, if you're somebody who does a lot of live streaming or you're on a lot of video calls, you can use the built-in laptop camera, for example, the camera that comes with the device. Just to be honest, though, it's not very good. Like I'm not using my webcam. This is an actual camera right now. But again, you also want something that's portable that you can just throw in your bag. You don't have to worry about, like, oh, is the lighting going to be good enough? Like this is where like having a webcam, for example, is going to be super, super, super important. Again, I mean, how many Zoom calls and live streams you've been on quite a bit, Microsoft Teams,
Right.
things like that. So this is the Logitech. This one does 1080p, by the way. It attaches to the top of your laptop via USB cable. You could also use it to record videos, things like that as well. And this one is, how much is this one, Letitia? Let's just see.
This one here is not that, it's very inexpensive. I
$75.
believe.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's on sale right now. You get 5% off. Yep.
About $75, about 5% off. Nice. So it's about $70 to $75. Again, this is a fantastic upgrade for a webcam if you want to check something like this out. If you've been using that built-in laptop camera, get yourself a new camera.
That's right.
Again, it's going to improve the quality. You're going to look sharper to people on screen, and you're going to be able to get your message across better. There's nothing like, trying to have a conversation with somebody and I can't like see what they look like because, it's so pixelated, for example, things like that.
Very blurry and very choppy, that people get turned off by that. Now, another, question that you and I get asked all the time, because we do other shows together as well, is, sound quality and having a good mic. This is very much so essential to business because video is important, but can people hear what it is that you're saying? That's even more important.
Yeah, absolutely. And audio is key.
Yes, it is.
Video, whether it's pre-recorded video or live stream video, any of that kind of thing. This one, I can't recommend this product enough. This is, so for those of you, again, I'm going back to your laptop. I'm not picking on your laptop, but this is the Rode NT USB mini USB microphone.
Right.
Super portable. Let's pull up how big this thing is. It's like super small. I think there's even a picture of like the person holding it in their hand, maybe. Like, it's portable. It's something that you can take with you. You could easily throw this in a bag with a USB cable, and the sound quality is fantastic. Rode makes audio equipment, so they know what they're doing. Now, in addition to this, by the way, this software, this particular microphone comes with software, and it comes with a software called Rode Connect, which is part of their product. And so, what the software does is, for example, if you've ever wanted to record a podcast, you can use their software to record, for example, Letitia and I onto 2 separate channels of a podcast.
Wow.
It also, for those of you who looked at someone like they have mixing boards and, audio interfaces, things like that, physical hardware that costs a few $100s, you can replicate that with the Rode software that comes with this particular microphone.
Right.
And as I mentioned, super portable, and you can have up to four of these connected at one time and running through their software. So it's a fantastic microphone option. For those of you who've been using the microphone in your laptop and you're wondering, well, why are people like telling me they can't hear me or I don't sound very good to other people? Because you're using the built-in laptop mic for the most part. So I would recommend getting something like this. This is just an absolute valuable product, and the price is just amazing. This is $100 microphone. It's $100, but it also includes, as I mentioned, it includes that software. And that software is key because, well, honestly, there's also software that does the same thing. And it's also $100 for the software. So this one includes for $100, you get the NT USB mini microphone. You get their software for free. And if you had bought just a microphone, any other microphone, and wanted to do something similar, you'd have to buy other software. So it's a very, very, very valuable package that people are getting there.
So awesome.
Okay, Letitia, what's next?
Okay, so this particular item, I can tell that I will get a lot of use of this item since I like to draw out things. Like when I'm explaining, like I talk a lot about email marketing, and if I map out an email and actually show it like on screen, if I'm doing a webinar presentation, I think this item would be perfect for. I know people normally use it like to design different things like pictures and things like that. But for those of you who like to write things out for people, especially if you're on a Zoom or something like that, I think this will be a pretty nifty item here that you can like add into your presentation.
Definitely, yeah. And I'm not much of a tablet a graphic tablet person, but again, I mean, you have to look at like what you're trying to do. So if you're, for example, an artist and you need to draw something or sketch something out, this is a great little product to have. I mean, look how small this is. I mean, it's like tiny,
really small.
It's got 6,200 reviews, $30. Again, if you're somebody who draws, it's a good product for that sort of thing.
Right. I love this. Even circling presentations. That's really what I would use it for, is the presentations I do.
Exactly. Yeah. And, again, it's about making you more efficient with essential tech. It's not going to be hard to use.
Nope.
So it's pressure sensitive. You basically just plug it in and you can just start drawing with it.
Right. So, and you can take it anywhere with you. Yeah.
Yeah. And save yourself some time as well. Like I know some people like they'll print out their notes or they'll print out their slides and they'll draw up the slides and then they'll scan them and then send them back. Why do that when you can just do it digitally? So
yes.
Excellent little product there. And that's at $30. Okay, Letitia, let me see what else we got here. So let's do this. Let's move into let's move on to that monitor actually.
Yes.
And I
already had this one up. Yes. I'm really looking forward for you to explain this. And I know you have from you already, but definitely out there to the audience. Y'all gonna love this monitor here.
So this next item, this is for somebody who say you go to travel and you've got you want to take the smallest laptop possible. Well, what if you want more real estate or you need more screen real estate? You
Mm-hmm.
need a monitor. Well, are you going to lug around like, one of those big monitors? Chances are no, not going to do that.
Yeah.
And so this is a great little item. It's about $180, by the way. But what it is it's a portable monitor.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 15.6-inch monitor. It plugs in via USB-C, so it can plug into your laptop. You can also plug in a smartphone into it, a tablet, obviously your laptop as well. And what you can do is you can use it to extend the length of your display. So, for example, we always want to travel with the lightest possible things. However, that doesn't mean we have to take a lot of like bulk. And so something like this, it's literally almost like a tablet of sorts, except it's literally
Wow.
just a screen. You connect it directly to your laptop, and now you can take that 13-inch computer, and it can become a 13-inch computer with a really, an additional display. So
Wow.
you can use it that way. You can also use it for connecting your smartphone. So, like, let's say you want to watch movies, for example, on a plane, instead of having to stare at the small screen or take a tablet in this, or if you don't own a tablet, you could plug your smartphone into this, and now you have a nice big screen to watch your movies on. Again, it can perform double duty, and it fits nicely into a bag, so you can take it on the plane. So,
Wow. Quite
what
cool.
that's pretty neat, right? Yeah.
It
And
is.
the great thing is it plugs in via USB-C. There's also, I think, an HDMI port on this little portable
Mm-hmm.
monitor as well. Again, it's about making it easier for you to, to be portable, like to not have to fiddle with like, for example, some people, they don't like to work on small monitors, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm like
Or they
that
don't like to
too.
work on small screens. So like if you
Mm-hmm.
work with spreadsheets, sometimes you want to like be able to see it. And so this is a
Yes.
15.6-inch monitor. It's got non-slip and anti-scratch material on it. It's got a stand as well, so you don't have to worry about like taking additional things. You literally
Mm-hmm.
just fold it up and throw it in your bag. And
Mm-hmm.
as I mentioned, it works with uh, laptops, PCs, phones,
Mm-hmm.
Macs. You can even use it for a gaming device as well. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I want to like take my Xbox or my PlayStation with me, you can plug it into this, and now
Right.
you have just this fantastic little monitor here to be able to take with you.
Cool.
So I don't know.
Cool. Very
I
cool.
love this little product. I mean, again, it's also got speakers on it as well. So, if you're like, hey, what, I need like more screen real estate so I can see something, check out this portable monitor, 15.6-inch. And by the way, there is a coupon on this. So it's $180, $20 coupon as well. By the way, let me just bring that back up. $20 coupon, by the way. And then, so that makes it about $160. So it's a great little monitor to take with you when you're traveling without having to worry about, will I have, I can't do this. I can't do the work on, for example, a little small laptop screen. I may need something extra.
Right. I
So
mean, you could be doing slides, so you won't have to like. I know if you're going to an event, they charge you extra for their projectors or what have you. So if you have something like this, especially if you're in like a small, quaint meeting, having
yeah,
this extra monitor, put it up on a stand, and that way you can show your presentation and have your laptop right in front of you.
excellent. Yep. No, excellent advice. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
for something like this, I mean, again, it's about making the tech is there to make your life easier. And it's about
Mm-hmm.
getting like, for example, if you need the solution of I need a portable monitor, here's your answer right here.
Mm-hmm.
Super small,
Absolutely.
super portable, not going to break the bank, and it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be easy to use. So again, I mean, it's about helping you succeed. So for people that are like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you know what? I'm traveling all the time. I don't have time to get the work done. Get yourself a second monitor, for
That's
example.
right.
Take it with you. Make
Mm-hmm.
your life easier so that you can stay motivated in your business.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So Letitia, is there anything else you want to add? You want to do a quick recap? What do you want to do?
Yeah, definitely. Like we just mentioned, we went over like the importance of staying focused. Meditation is so important. I know that if we increase our level of meditation, we'll become more strategic in everything that we're doing. And then jumping into staying active with a lot of times, even though we're busy, we're not really that busy so much where we're staying as active because our health and wellness is important. It's very important, and then ending it off with some essential tech that you need for your business. I know a lot of these items you guys have probably never seen before that you're sort of sitting back and incorporating it into your business. So this is quite exciting. I love these conversations of motivation.
Definitely, yeah. And so,
Yeah.
if you have any questions, again, you're welcome to ask us.
Mm-hmm.
Just let us know in the comments. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I mean, it's also about you. So we dropped quite a few things in the chat, by the way, here.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple of quick notes, by the way. Again, I mean, we covered, I just want a quick recap. We talked about getting focused. So get all that stuff out of your mind on a
Yes.
paper. Surround yourself with positive things. So it's not
Yes.
going to, like, just because you surround yourself with positive things does not mean it's going to automatically happen.
Mm-mm.
However, it's going to help get you in the right mindset.
That's right.
And then you got to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation could be, making sure that, you're like, let's focus on like getting you like good sleep, for example.
Yes.
So
Sleep
being able
is
to
important.
focus on the sleep, for example,
Mm-hmm.
or, having a certain place in your office, in your house,
Mm-hmm.
if you have to work from home, for example, where you can actually take the time to meditate and unwind and just let that
Yes.
stress melt away. And we
Mm-hmm.
also talked about like things like hydration mist, things like that to help you with your diet, to help
Mm-hmm.
you, again, I mean, make sure you stay hydrated, for example, because all these things, all these forces are going to help you stay motivated. For example, if you can just kind of get rid of the things that are really holding you back.
That's
Um,
right.
and then we also talked about getting active and make sure you're
Mm-hmm.
active because, again, being active, it's all about taking action. And so,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you're not going to lose the weight if you don't actually go and, for example, work out. Well, how do
Mm-hmm.
you know how well you're doing? You could get yourself an accountability partner, or you could
Mm-hmm.
just get yourself a smartwatch, or maybe you already have a smartwatch. And it's about
Yes.
putting it to use. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and again, just starting to take those steps to get you active. And then we also lastly talked about essential tech, and these were
Mm-hmm.
tech items to help make it easier on you.
That's
So,
right.
if you're trying to run your whole business by yourself, how do you stay motivated when things aren't going well? Or how do you stay motivated when you got so much to do?
Yes.
It's about taking some of those things, like some of that burden off of you and putting it
Mm-hmm.
on, like being smart about, for example, like what you're doing. So, for example, if you find yourself, you're prone to losing things,
Mm-hmm.
and that's lost time, lost productivity, consider looking at the air tags or the tile sticker, for example. If you're somebody who has gotten into, doing a lot of video, for example, and you want to make sure you look your best, get
Mm-hmm.
yourself a webcam and focus on the audio. And then if you're
Yes.
somebody who needs that portability factor, check out that portable monitor. We think you're going to like that one. So,
Yes. I think
yep.
that's a cool, awesome tool.
So just one last note, and that's when's our next show, Letitia?
Our next show is going to be next Wednesday, the 14th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Fantastic. So it's been a lot of fun, by the way. I always love talking about this
Yes.
and how we just weave things in, the business essentials and the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you got to take action on things, by the way.
That's
So,
right.
nothing's going to happen if you don't take the action, but you got to put yourself in the right mindset so that, you are motivated and you're ready to take action in your
Mm-hmm.
business. With that, I'm going to say, I'm going to sign off, but thanks a lot, everyone. We hope you all enjoyed this show. Do us a favor, follow us. We do these every single week along with some other shows.
Yes.
But again, we'll see you all next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, by the way, for business essentials and conversation. Thanks a lot. Bye.